Richard, it is that amazing time of year again where we torture ourselves with the thought that you and I, yes, Richard, you and I can win a trophy. They say that our generation was the generation where everyone got a trophy, but you know what? That has not been the case for you and me, as we once again throw our hats in the ring for the 2020 Podcast Awards.
That's right, Shawn. For year number 5, the 5th year in a row, we're putting ourselves up as one of the contenders to make the slate for the 2020 Podcast Awards. So listen, here's what you do. You go to podcastawards.com, you sign up, and then you vote for the language of bromance. Now, this goes on from July 1st through July 31st. And that both dates are in 2020.
Ooh, yeah. And even though I've stepped away from Strange Indeed, make sure you go over and give Rima a vote as well.
Yeah, because then we could make the year even stranger. Indeed. Come on. And then you make the language of bromance and Strange Indeed as 2 amazing podcasts that are on the slate in this year's Podcast Awards.
So go to podcastawards.com in the month of July and vote every day.
Every day, every morning, you can go to Podcast Awards and vote for your favorite podcast. That's us.
Language of Bromance and Strange Indeed are the ones you should go to vote for every day.
That's all I got. What's up, everybody? I'm Richard.
And I'm Shawn.
And today we are speaking the language of bromance. And today, Shawn, we are going back to school like Rodney Dangerfield in the very famous film Caddyshack 2.
No. Oh, what was that movie called?
Back to School.
Yeah. That's the one where he does the whole like high dive thing, right?
Yes.
I remember seeing that and it blew my mind. I was like,
why?
Can you do that? I don't know, because it seemed impossible, especially for a big dude like that. But he did it, Richard.
He did. And we were all proud.
Yeah. I feel bad he died. Like, that's a dude that I wish lived to be like 110. Was he an okay dude, like in real life?
I have no idea.
I say that and people are like, he was a fucking asshole, right? Like,
he was a serial killer.
Yeah. You know why they call him Dangerfield, right? Because of all the dead bodies in his backyard.
Because he would go on walks in his later years and he'd plant mines in the park. He'd create a danger field.
I'm going to get my respect now, assholes. That would be an awesome movie. We need to find somebody that looks like Rodney Dangerfield and do that. I get no respect.
I'm trying to think of somebody that could be Rodney Dangerfield.
It's a tough get.
Yeah. Because it's that face.
Tom Hardy. You put some prosthetics on Tom Hardy.
You know what?
He could do it.
I could 100% see that.
Yeah. Because when you look at that new Capone movie, he's got a little Dangerfield look to it.
I haven't seen it.
I've only seen like a little trailer of it.
Okay.
I want to watch it because I've heard it's bad, but it seems like it goes into the part where the STD is starting to set in on him.
What? I wasn't going to start it.
Great. Send her out to the danger field. Dad, why do you want me to go out here? No reason.
Yep. Hope a mine blows her face off.
Click, Dad. What's that? I don't know. Move your leg and see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Kids, Richard.
Let's find out if it's a dud.
Talking about going back to school.
That's right. Which is where all parents want to send their kids. So, Shawn, you and I are going to go back to school because what we're going to talk about is something that captivated my imagination and my heart, and this is something that I want to do. I have found my calling, and all I need to do is go to one of my favorite places in the world. We need to go to Japan. Because Japan has produced a graduate, and his name is Genichi Mitsuhashi. He spent 2 years and has attained a graduate degree in ninja studies.
So like the history of ninja or becoming a ninja?
He spent Japan has produced its first ninja studies graduate after he spent 2 years.
You know what, Richard? I bet he was the worst in class because I bet they've produced tons of ninja graduates. You just can't see them.
You're so right.
He was the worst one. See, like when you graduate with high honors, you get valedictorian.
Maybe that's why it's only a 2-year. Maybe that's why he only got a 2-year degree.
Yeah,
the really good ones get a bachelor's.
Exactly. Yeah, it's actually a 6-year degree, doctorate or master's. But because he was the worst one, and like I said, you know, when you're the valedictorian, like the best, that's when you give the speech. But in ninja school, when you're the shittiest ones, like, yeah, you give the speech.
You're the one that gives the speech. You're the shit-torian.
Yeah. Why is my colors all like, I don't know, what's a bad color to give somebody? I don't know what color to give somebody that's bad.
Scarlet.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You got the scarlet red.
Yeah.
Why is that? Because you suck.
Yeah, fuck you. He spent 2 years honing his martial arts skills and absorbing the finer traditions of the feudal martial arts agents. He is 45 years old, Shawn.
Oh, damn. Maybe it is more than a 2-year degree. Maybe he's been at this for a long time.
The 45-year-old completed the master's course at the Mai University in central Japan.
It only cost him 300,000 yen.
No, Shawn, this is Japan, so it cost him absolutely nothing.
I wonder what does college cost in Japan?
Let's
I always
see.
find it funny.
If I'm going to take a stab in the dark, I'm going to say less than here. I mean, I'm not a betting man, but that's where I'm going to put my money.
So it's 10,000 a year in the US on tuition. And then fees in Japan.
For ninja studies or just in general?
Just in general.
Okay.
Japan's 6,500. So Japan's like 65%, just over half.
Yeah. This 45-year-old completed the master's course at the Mai Academy in central Japan, the region which is considered the home of the ninja.
Ooh.
Yeah. So in addition to researching historical documents, he took the physical aspect of being a ninja to heart. He said, I read that ninjas worked as farmers in the morning and trained in martial arts in the afternoon.
Oh, that's a lot of work, especially when you're in college. Like at that age too, if he's single, like gets done farming and doing his studies.
Shawn, this is a 45-year-old getting a degree in ninja studies. I think the safe bet is that he's single.
True. I was just thinking, you get to that point in some like co-eds, like, hey, we got a party in our dorm. You want to come over? Your answer is going to be like, no, I got to study. He goes poof. It clears, and then you just see him like walking away,
just sauntering.
We can still see you, Greg. What's his name? Janaku.
His name is Ganeshi.
Ganeshi. We can see you, Ganeshi.
Yeah. So what Genshi did is he grew vegetables and worked on his martial arts techniques, just like the ninjas did. So
God,
in the morning he'd wake up and he'd work on his vegetable garden, and then he'd train in martial arts in the afternoon.
Could you imagine being his roommate? He's got all this like cabbage growing that's rotting. His dorm rooms aren't very big, and there's not much natural sunlight.
No,
especially probably I would. Because Japanese have like very small apartments too, right? So I'm guessing the dorm rooms are even smaller.
In Japan, they even have the coffin motels.
Oh, that'd be creepy. I'm like slightly claustrophobic.
Where it's basically like you have like your sleeping compartment is like basically the size of a twin bed. Yeah, because it's like probably like double the size of the morgue. Like if you like popped out of bed real quick, you'd smack your head. You got to kind of like shimmy. Oh yeah. Yeah. I think there a lot of them are on rollers, so that way you can kind of get in and get out easier.
Oh God, what if you had to pee? What if you just pee the bed then? You're like, fuck it. I'm not getting out of this.
Well, it's all fine except for the person that's sleeping underneath you.
Yeah, I know. That's why you always want the top.
Dibs.
That's an extra 600 yen. Worth it.
100%.
Although if it was like airtight though and you peed too much, you might drown yourself. Yeah, be a rough way to go.
right? Drown an inch of your own urine.
Yeah, you rolled over from too much sake. Don't make it. Sake's good though, by the way.
That's what I was just gonna say. I was like, sake is delicious. So,
Are you hot or cold sake?
Usually hot.
Yeah, I'm same boat.
Yeah.
I actually last time I had sake. Funny note, I didn't want to because usually I'll just boil some water and put it in it. Like not like pour the sake in it, but put the glass bottle in it. But I was too lazy to get a pot, so I just used like a measuring cup, like one of the glass ones.
Okay.
And put it on the stove just to get it hot enough. And then when I pulled it out and turned it off, broke.
Nice.
Yeah, Tiffany wasn't happy.
No, I wouldn't think she would be.
Yeah, I said, well, you know what? I went to ninja school. Ninja vanish!
Ninja vanish!
Then I ran into the living room.
And hid behind the couch.
Well, I drank my sake.
And chewed on broken glass.
The sake's so good. The blood really brings out the aged.
It's the nuance. It's the nuance of flavors. It's quite a bouquet.
It's the slight bitter and sweet. It's amazing.
It's also metallic. So he grew vegetables and worked on his martial arts in addition to copious ninja study in the classroom. With this combination, I thought I could learn about the real ninja. Better known as the black-clad assassins, famous for secrecy, stealth, ninjas also had comprehensive survival skills, which I didn't know that.
I'd assume it. I mean, they're kind of like they had the I think of them almost like special ops of the day. You know, like a ninja, somebody you could put out in the middle of nowhere, and they would, survive on the land and befriend a bear.
I did hear that they, that a lot of them were like farmers. They were like farmers during the day, and then at night they'd sneak into, people's houses, or they'd sneak into like a noble's house and stab them in the face.
Yeah, and then take their mutagen.
Yeah.
But I mean, really back then, like, wasn't everybody technically a farmer? At least to an extent.
Except for the blacksmith. I bet the blacksmith wasn't.
I bet he had something growing.
And the guy that shoot horses. No, wait, that was also the blacksmith.
Yeah.
The guy that made barrels.
Also the blacksmith.
A barrister.
A barrister. What about the barber?
No, that's what they're called, aren't they? The guy that makes barrels? Or a cooper. Fuck, I don't remember. There were a lot of people back then that did a lot of jobs.
Yeah,
Shawn, not everybody was a farmer.
What sucks about that? Yeah, and you know what sucks about that? Now, all those people have the same last name, Smith. You're like, damn it, people.
There's blacksmith. There's fucking
Goldsmith.
shipwright.
Shipsmith. Poopsmith.
Shipsmith.
Dogsmith. Watersmith. Bang your wife Smith. What?
Whoa, wait. Mitsuhashi, who has also learned kung fu and a Japanese martial art known as Shirinji Kempo. He teaches ninja skills at his own dojo and runs a local inn while pursuing his PhD.
Oh, shit. He's going to be Dr. Ninja.
He is.
You know
my
what?
God. How, Dr. Ninja, tell me you would not put that on a fucking business card.
Richard, if they said, hey, Shawn, if you go over to Japan and you spend, we said it was $6,500, you spend $26,000.
Yeah.
Times 2, because you got to go 8 years to get your doctorate in ninja. And you could be Shawn, Dr. Ninja. I'm doing it.
Dr. Ninja Shawn.
Yeah. The doctor will see you now. Or will he?
The doctor will see you, but you won't see him. Vanish. It turns out the cancer has spread to your liver. Vanish.
So he said Dr. Ninja, but it didn't say MD. Oh, shoot. You can always pull that, too. The old douchebaggery.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, is there a doctor in the house? Why, yes, I'm a doctor. You must not have seen me. Well, help this man. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not that kind of doctor.
Yeah. I have a doctorate in ninja studies. But, okay, wait a minute. But if you really had a doctorate in ninja studies, you would be like, is there a doctor in the house? And then nobody would answer, and then the guy would die, and then you'd show up, and then you'd be like, What did you want? You're like, oh, you were a doctor. You were supposed to. I'm a doctor of ninja studies. That's why you didn't find me.
Yeah. I killed that man because I'm a Dr. Ninja.
By the way, this is my fault.
You could have saved this man. No, I couldn't.
On 2 counts.
So peanuts?
My university set up the world's first research center devoted to the ninja in 2017 and opened a graduate course a year later. It is located in Aiga, which is 220 miles southwest of Tokyo, a mountain-shrouded city once home to many ninja.
Oh, that'd be kind of cool if you were learning like on site of where there were a lot of ninjas.
Right?
They're like, this is where the battles took place.
See, over there, that's where a ninja stabbed somebody. Over there, another ninja stabbed somebody.
What about over
there?
there?
You don't know about it because those ninjas were really good.
Mm-hmm. What about over there? Ninja stabbed somebody.
And there, that's where the blacksmith lived.
That's an ice cream parlor. Don't be so rude.
What about the shipwright? All right, don't get cute.
They killed him too.
Yuji Yamada, a professor of Japanese history at the university in charge of the Ninja Center, was surprised at Mitsuhashi's devotion to the task. He said, "We provide historical classes and courses on ninja skills, but we didn't expect him to engage to this extent, like a real living ninja."
Did they just like make this degree up for this guy? Like he showed up, like he's like the janitor.
Yeah.
He's like
he's like the Goodwill Hunting of ninjas. Is that what you're saying?
He walks into a classroom. He's like, so is this ninja studies? They're like, no, this is mathematics 101.
Yeah.
So ninjas, did you know they stab people over there? After like a week, they're like, listen, just put them over here and we'll send some of the TAs in there for some practice and we'll teach them.
I stabbed him in the face. How you like those fucking apples?
Ninja sauce, bitch.
To enroll, so this, in order to enroll, students have to take an exam on Japanese history and a reading test on historical ninja documents.
Oh, and I bet the third is you have to pass that Ninja Warrior course. Which you watch that? Is that not the worst show ever? Have you ever watched it?
Which one?
Ninja Warrior.
I didn't think it was that horrible. Well, I mean, I'd watch it and go, "Oh my god, there's no way I could do any of these things."
Oh yeah, for sure. Like the first one, you're like, "Nope, couldn't do it." But they always have like somebody come up and they're like, "Oh, this is Samantha, and her husband was a war veteran who died a horrible death, and she's been practicing this for 6 years since his death, and she's dedicating
5
this to
seconds in.
Yeah, thump thump, boom. Oh, well, that's all for Samantha. I bet her husband's disappointed. How does it feel to be a disappointment,
if he was
Samantha?
alive?
Yeah. So your dead husband, do you think he'd be happy right now?
I bet he'd laugh. Like all these people are laughing.
It's okay, Samantha. You'll get another turn. Will I? No, you only get one turn. This is Ninja Warrior.
No. Fuck off.
There's a good show that I think you and I should try to do, though. It's new on Netflix. It's called The Floor is Lava.
I have heard of it, but I have not seen it.
It's interesting. It's like an escape room meets Ninja Warrior meets like out of shape people.
Fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, they're not
Sign me up.
They're not like super out of shape, but they're not like Ninja Warrior where you're like, I couldn't do that.
I don't know. I have been losing weight, as you so pointed out to me earlier.
I saw that.
Even though my wife didn't.
Yeah, I saw you. I'm like, hey, when's Richard getting on? Because there's this sexy beast staring at me right now. You're like, no, it's me. I'm like, whatever.
Do you think there's a trick to reading historical ninja documents? Because they're saying a test, so I assume there's it's like obviously you need to know how to read Japanese, but also do you think there's like a secret code to it that they don't tell you?
That's an interesting concept to think about, because you try to read old English, stuff from the 1400s. It's tough to read.
Yeah,
just how it's English has evolved.
Yeah.
I don't know if the Japanese language has evolved
fucking
as much
Shakespeare.
As ours. Because I've always heard that the English language is so difficult because there's so much
slang.
Slang, yes.
Yeah.
Where other languages don't have that.
Yeah, I've heard that too. And also, I mean, it's like going from English to a different language, they say is fairly easy. It's just a matter of like, because they, nouns are, especially with like Latin languages.
Yeah.
Like nouns can be masculine or feminine. And then there's verb conjugation. So like, but it's all based on the same root word.
Yeah.
Like I took 2 years of Spanish in high school, and like I understood the logic of the language. It was just a matter of memorizing words.
Yeah. I've always wondered too, like people that can speak multiple languages, if you get to a point where like you speak the language and you don't convert it in your head.
Oh yeah.
Or if you always convert it in your head. I've always
I don't know.
Because whenever I do it, I convert it in my head. Except mi pantalones, ace and fuego. Mi pantalones, ace and fuego.
Your pants are on fire?
Yeah.
2 years finally paid off. This guy says that about 3 students enroll every year.
And he kills every one of them.
And none of them make it. Hey. That's why we're finally seeing a story, because somebody actually got to the end.
It's actually a 6-week degree, but he can't get through it.
We get many inquiries from overseas, but I have to say one thing. This is a course to learn about the ninja, not to become one. Don't say that. That's bullshit. You just negate the whole thing.
I mean, to become a ninja, you have to know what a ninja is, right?
I would think.
So with this, you would be the ultimate ninja. You learn of the history so you can make the present your ninja.
I would so fucking want to be a ninja.
Would you want to be, like, of the ancient? So
okay, that's the thing. Like, okay, let's say you get this degree in ninja studies. Like, now what?
You steal stuff.
Are the ninja are a lot of the private ninja companies hiring?
I don't know.
What's the ninja job market?
I don't know. I don't have that degree, so they don't check me out on LinkedIn.
Oh my God. I feel like I want to do it just to put it on my LinkedIn profile.
You'd probably get a lot of job inquiries like, I see you got a doctorate in ninja.
You have a degree in ninja studies. Can you please explain that for me?
You're like, sure. Who do you want me to kill? My boss.
Well, considering that I'm in the room with you right now. Wait, what?
My boss is a real asshole, and he stole that position from me. Did you take him out? Done.
I already did.
So how long is this going to take? It's already done.
What would you do with a degree in ninja studies, Shawn? Like, how would you market that?
I'd probably do like security. Like if you like somebody's like, oh my gosh, I have this person harassing me, and you go take care of them. It'd be like a semi John Wick if I could do it. Like John Wick without guns.
Okay.
Because I always think about that, like to be like a John Wick like person would be awesome. Where you're just a super badass who can take anybody out.
Yeah, and you're all covered in tattoos.
Yeah, but in real life it'd be like, you punch somebody and it hurt, then they kick your ass. Like, no, but I have a doctorate in ninja. Well, I've got a doctorate in kicking your ass.
I'm credentialed. Okay, so I saw this story, and I thought this was super interesting. And I have no idea what I would do with a degree in ninja studies, but now I know that I want one.
Well, I think we have to ask the question. If your first day at school, Richard, orientation, they're like, all right, so you got to figure out your degree path. And you see, a bachelor's in ninja, and you see a bachelor's in pirating. Which one are you taking?
That's hard. I feel like pirating would give me a lot more practical skills, though. I'd learn how to like run I'd learn how to like be on a ship.
That's true. Good management skills too.
Yeah, management skills.
It's really just a business degree, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's at the part where it's like, well, what do we do about the costs? It's like there are none.
What does that tell you about modern society? That a pirating degree is the same as an MBA?
Well, I mean, technically, it's better than if it was a ninja degree. It's like, well, everybody just kills everybody and farms.
Yeah, and in the morning you grow veggies. So I saw that, and what it did is it led me down a rabbit hole, and I found a list of odd college degrees you can get.
All from Japan, or are they kind of across the globe?
They're from all over.
Okay.
They're from all over. Now there's a couple of these that like 100% totally get, and I would actually like be fairly interested in getting them. Some of them I'm like,
Well,
I guess, but
first, you're not going to break my heart and tell me there's a podcasting degree, right?
Shawn, I think we both know that there has to be a podcasting
I'm sure there
degree
is somewhere.
You know, there's some guy that wrote a book,
Yeah,
and has like a 30 audio cassette.
God, would that not be the best like teaching thing ever? Getting people to do podcasts at some university.
I bet. I mean, well, hell, they have degrees on like social media.
Do they really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's universities that have degree programs on social media.
I mean, that would
I think it's
be
like social media studies or whatever.
Wouldn't that be like useful psychology?
I mean, I think they all get jobs like in fucking marketing.
Yeah, yeah.
For like Facebook and bullshit like that.
Like social media admin or whatever they call that.
Yeah. Yeah, none of it has to do with the actual technical side of it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how this works, but I know how to push a like button.
Yeah. Be careful what you post because 20 years from now it may not be good for you.
So I found this listed of strange degrees, and I just kind of want you to give me your take on them. All right. So the first one is, hang on. Yeah, the first one is ethical hacking.
Ooh, actually that's a really interesting because
I thought so too. I would totally want this.
I've been watching I've been listening to a lot of podcasts that talk about like there's one called Darknet Diaries, I think.
Ooh.
Where they talk about I'm going to forget what it's called, but basically there's companies out there that you go out and you pay money to try and like break into your company or break into your systems.
Yeah.
What they call it? Is it white hat hacking?
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's white hat
social
work.
But what's funny about it is like they play on people's like social
you're talking about social engineering.
Yeah. So like the one I was listening to, so basically they wouldn't have credentials to a building. And so their goal was to get into the building and see like what all information they could get.
Yeah.
And this one person played it so like serious. It was a lady and she would put on like a pregnant outfit, like basically make it look like she was pregnant and have like a bunch of stuff in her hands and go to the door and wait for somebody to come walking up and be like, oh my God. They're like, oh, let me get the door for you. And then she gets in that way. Like,
well, because I've listened to interviews with like older hackers from like the late 90s and the early 2000s. And all of them said the same thing, that when it comes to attacking a system, usually the weakest point in a system, in a network, is not really so much, a computer, it's a person. Like people are the weakest chain in a security fence. And so by exploiting people, and I mean, exploiting is kind of not really the best word for it. But, there was one guy that said, a majority of my quote unquote hacking, I never did on the computer. I would do it over the telephone because I would make phone calls and talk to people and just get as much information as I could, and then just use that. And then that would be the information you use to get whatever it is you are trying to get.
Yeah. Everybody thinks hacking's like swordfish. We're just sitting there at the computer going clacky, 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 clacky. Oh,
yeah.
I've broken
you're
into
looking
the
at
system.
you're looking at 12 different fucking monitors, and it's all like big spinny 3D graphics and shit.
Like most of it's just figuring out how to get somebody's password with the rights and then giving yourself rights to the system.
Yeah.
There was one so it was like a conference for like hacking and stuff like that. And the person on the stage.
Oh, was it DEF CON?
It might have been DEF CON.
Okay.
I think that's probably what it was. But on the stage, the person's like, oh, well, I'm going to like get this bank information for this person. So I think it was a woman. She calls in, and on YouTube, she starts playing a baby crying.
Okay.
And so she's talking to somebody on the phone. She's like, oh, yeah, I'm trying to get, so-and-so, like, I need to get into our bank account. And the lady's like, well, what's your password? And, plays the baby crying. And like, it's like, oh, sorry, I got to deal with my kid. And I just got out of the hospital. And like, basically, like you said, playing on a person's like sympathy.
Yeah.
It's all the banking information for somebody that she had no right to get that access to.
Yeah.
And did it on stage. And, people are like, oh, it's like, yeah, I mean.
That's the weakest link.
People.
The weakest link in any security chain. So ethical hacking. I would totally be down to get a degree in ethical hacking.
I think that would be kind of a fun, like the gigs where you're going to places trying to get into their systems.
Yes.
If you were good.
That's
with those
basically
skills,
That's basically the way this is explained. It says essentially ethical hackers are there to detect and fix security loopholes before the unethical hackers find them.
Yep. Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun. Because like I say, if you got hired on to try and do it to like just a bunch of different companies all over the U.S., it'd just be like a fun game, like a fun challenge.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, the next one I would also 100% get. I would totally be down for this. And I think a lot of other people would. And I'm pretty sure I could sell you on this one too, Shawn. It's fairly easy. Ready? You can get a degree in cannabis cultivation.
That'd be a new. I would think we're hopefully 5 to 10 years away from, if not sooner, being legal all over the country. You get it on the ground floor on some of that right now, it'd be the ideal time.
I mean, honestly, to me, it sounds like it seems similar to like a horticulture degree, just with like a specialty.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you think like small breweries are huge now. I would imagine if people still kind of have that like a mindset towards cannabis, if you're building like these small batch specialty things, like wouldn't that be kind of like that would be the next logical step after it becomes legal?
Like a microbrewery.
Yeah.
But it'd be like a micro grow.
Be a microbud.
Yeah. Micro bud house.
That'd be fun. Like you go back to like farming and stuff, but like farming you typically have to do outside, but with that you get to do it inside.
Yeah, with this you can do the whole thing inside. I mean, you can do it outside, but
yeah, but it'd be better inside because there's no snakes. Could you imagine a snake that was high?
How would the snake get high?
It would eat the buds.
Why would he eat? That's not how that works.
I don't know. Snakes are weird. And it's like, hey, man, I'm so fucking hungry. I'm going to eat you. And it unhinges its jaw and tries to eat your
first
foot.
I'm going to give you this apple. And then you're like, why are you giving me? Am I high? That's a good point, Shawn. You'd be high. You wouldn't care. You wouldn't care what the snake had to
whatever,
say.
Man, let's just eat this apple. We'll make it into a ball.
And then I come outside and you're fucking laying on the ground naked with a snake crawling all over you.
Yeah, like Shawn, that's not the weed. That's just
don't deny our love.
Shawn, that's not weed. That's the weeds, the actual weeds. I think it's poison ivy. Whatever, man. Smoke's all the same. I think we need to go to the hospital.
You're poison ivy, and I'm Two-Face.
I'm gonna flip this coin. Flip. You didn't even flip a. Yeah, we got to go to the hospital.
Oh God!
Did he smoke his own stuff? No, he smoked poison ivy.
He's going down fast. But yeah, I would totally get a degree in this. There was actually the dispensary that is in town where I live. A couple of years ago, they offered a class on getting that would get you like a certification to grow. And if I didn't have, I had ended up having to work the day they offered the class. Otherwise, I totally would have done it because I think it was like $40.
Oh no, it's not bad. It'd just be.
It was like $40 and it was like an 8-hour course.
Oh, that'd be fun. I know like zero about like the processing of marijuana and stuff.
I know zero about growing plants at all, let alone this plant. But I totally want to learn.
Yeah, it'd be interesting.
1,000%. I would love to do it.
Ooh, I think it'd be. What would your title be? Like we said, Dr. Ninja, Dr. Hacker,
Bud Specialist.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
BS and bud specialty.
Mm-hmm.
Try my micro bud.
What will we name our micro buttery?
Did we have a name for our pot shop?
I thought we did. Remember. Somebody will figure it out, and then they'll tell us.
Yeah. Language of Budmance.
Well, now that ruined it.
Oh.
It was if we did, it was way smarter than that.
Yeah, I mean, was it?
Fair enough.
Oh, it was Bud of Bromance. Huh.
All right. At the University of Baltimore, this degree, I mean, I guess, like, I get it, but I think I don't know if there's a way. I don't know if there's a easier, not really an easier, but I would think that this is a degree you could get just like with experience alone. At the University of Baltimore, you can major in pop culture.
Yeah, that's a degree when your kid was walking across the aisle. And you're like, so what did Timmy, like, he never told me what he majored in. He was always really, like, quiet about it. Is he becoming a doctor? Holy shit, this 8 years. Oh, my God, my son is Dr. Timmy. Oh.
My son's a doctor.
And like
your face, Gladys.
You
Fuck
see,
you, what'd he get? Life studies? That sounds like bullshit.
Yeah, good luck managing an Applebee's, asshole. You see the doctors walk across like, oh, well, it's not an MD. Why? What is it, like psychology? What was it? Doctor.
Oh, my son's gonna be a therapist.
I mean, it's not a
Fuck
doctor.
you, Gladys.
Dr. Timmy.
With his degree in pop culture.
You just hear, fuck!
Ah, shit.
All right, time to go home and take a toaster bath.
Hang on to that job at Applebee's, Tim.
Hey, Gladys, when your son's managing that Applebee's, can you get my kid a job? No, there's degrees that, you hear people that they get, and it's like, okay, I mean, it's your cash money, I guess, but like, what are you going to do? Like, VH1 used to have the, those 90s and 80s, like, pop culture shows where it's like, this is what was cool in 91.
Right. Well, see, that's the thing. Like, oh, I have a degree in pop culture. Be like, yeah, but if if you graduated in like, 2004, like, what the fuck? How relevant is your fucking degree now?
Did you know when the meme first became popular? Yeah, I don't give a fuck. When's the new iPhone come out?
iPhone? What the fuck's an iPhone?
I just came here for a steak. Can you get me a steak medium rare?
You say iPhone, I think what you mean is Motorola Razr, am I right? Beep, boop, boop.
These were super impressive because they had snake and took pictures. More tea.
Apparently one of the modules in the pop culture degree is strictly on zombies. So there's an entire module in the program dedicated to zombies.
Yeah, there's probably another one for vampires too, like the whole Twilight thing.
Oh, yeah. Well, I guess it depends on the year, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's how they get new books every year.
It's not even a textbook. It's just a subscription of Vogue and Entertainment Weekly.
My freshman year of school, like I took an urban legends class, but they had those classes your freshman year to kind of help you get like accustomed to college.
Mm-hmm.
So like, whenever you hear like college movies and stuff, they always have like urban legend class and like, there was,
I'll tell you what though. I took film appreciation.
Yeah, we had
I thought it was going to be kind of like a bullshit class because I'm like film appreciation. You know what? I actually did learn things in that class.
Oh, that's cool.
That like I still kind of like carry with me. Like not really so much like, I mean, we watched a lot of like really great movies and kind of, but it kind of taught me how to break down and understand like subtle nuances when it comes to acting and things like that.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest regrets I have at college. That I didn't take like any drama class or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
It
shows. I'm kidding.
I've seen your shorts. They suck, and I've read your scripts. I said you were skinny, asshole. You know what? I was acting.
Wow.
No, I wasn't. I'm not that good of an actor.
It's okay. I didn't pick up on the subtle nuances of it. I got a D in that class.
I can't even tell my wife's faking it. Oh. But like my whole college career, my 4 years at school, like every year I was like, is film appreciation available? Or is like some film class?
Yeah.
Never was one at my school.
That's sad.
Yeah, I was mad. I told my professor, I was like, you take this degree and you shove it.
Yeah.
And they told me how much it was going to cost.
I want to see a movie, damn it.
But then he told me how much that degree cost. I was like, oh, well, I'll just take that back, please.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Whose money? My money. Oh.
Wait. I thought that was that FIFA thing. No, it's not. You have to pay that back.
This is a degree I feel, this next one is a degree I feel is kind of on the decline. Like, I don't see this. I guess I could, I guess there's still a market.
Beanie Babies.
But I feel like it's a very narrow market. Actually it doesn't list the college. You can get a degree in bowling industry management and technology.
Oh man. You know what breaks my heart is that bowling's not a big thing anymore.
Dude, I guess I never realized like how huge bowling used, like they used to fucking televise it. Fucking prime time on the networks.
They still do on Sundays on ESPN during football season. But
well, I'm talking like NBC fucking, like prime time on a weekend. They'd be like, oh, we're going to show you bowling.
Well, that's
because
like
everybody gives a shit.
Well, because that was something that everybody could do. And like people like legit get good enough. It's like you could go pro and you didn't have to like do anything besides be good at it.
That's true. Bowling is a very like, I guess it's not really like there is a definite like skill curve to it, but it seems like a much more attainable skill curve.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to be like blessed by the gods in genetics in order to, be a successful bowler.
Yeah. Cause I mean, you could be the dude that throws the ball super hard and like explodes all the pins, or you could be a person that like grannies it. As long as you get a strike, like almost every time, you'll be pretty
strike
darn good.
is a strike is a strike.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You don't have to throw the ball past somebody or, shoot the goal past somebody or, dribble past anybody. It's all on you just tossing that ball down the line.
Yeah. It's kind of, honestly, like, I guess now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, it's kind of like how esports is now. Like with esports, there's a definite skill curve to it, but it's one of those things that like, hey, if you really, really want to do it and you really, really dedicate yourself to practice and whatnot, you can actually attain a high level.
Yeah, it's still that's more still a competition though, where you have to like beat somebody one-on-one. Whereas in bowling, I mean, if you carry like a 250 average, like you're going to be pretty legit and be able to win a lot of money in tournaments back then. Because I mean, like you remember, like I remember bowling when I was in grade school. There was a bowling alley right across from my grade school. And so every Monday after school, we got to walk across the road and bowl. And I loved it. My dad was in bowling leagues in the 80s. Like everybody's dad was in a bowling league in the 80s. No, it was like just the thing you did.
Bowling was a big thing.
Yeah, it's like today. Like every dad has a podcast. Back then, every dad bowled.
Well, see, there you go. Now, Shawn, you can get a degree in bowling industry management and technology. I really don't know what the technology part is. Like, I'm like what would have been the huge advances in bowling technology in the last like 50 years?
It'd just be it'd probably be the software more than anything. Because I think the actual crane lifts and stuff are probably pretty much the same. It'd be kind of like management of the lanes, because if it's a true like wooden lane, like there's probably quite a bit of work you have to do to that.
Oh, I bet there is.
Like oiling it right.
Trying to keep it flat.
Yeah, I didn't know until,
especially now, like as time has gone on, like I mean, you're talking about like bowling alleys that have been around for like 60, 70 years. Like,
oh, they're closing down.
Yeah.
It used to be like every little town had their own bowling house, but not anymore. And it's sad. Like, I mean, it's just kind of like, because like bowling alley food, I love bowling alley food. Because it's just
it's essentially just like fucking like any greasy diner, right?
Kind of. It's like
more
downgraded, like, bar food.
You got really excited when I was talking about bowling.
Oh, dude.
Like, I see it in your face. Like, you might actually go bowling in the next couple of weeks. I might.
I'm not very good at it.
Like, I could see it in your face. You're like, I could take everybody out bowling.
Yeah.
And they'll love me. And they'll think that I'm so smart that I came up with this idea. And in reality, my entire family is going to hate me because they're like, why the fuck are we at this bowling alley, you piece of shit?
If I want to have like a good conversation, my father-in-law actually almost went pro in bowling.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so his dad was one of the first people to bowl a 300 in the town that we live in.
Uh-huh.
His aunt, I'm confident, was the first woman in this town. They were inducted into the town hall of fame.
Oh, okay.
But he started bowling because his dad bowled, and his dad told him that he would pay for his bowling if he didn't miss any of the splits. So like when you have or not miss a spare, I think it was. So like he hits 9 and then he's got 1 pin left. If he missed one of those at all at the night, he had to pay for his bowling. So he got really good at getting spares.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see, what was he told me about that? He's bowled like 2 300s, and I think like 2 500 series.
Wow.
But he went down to St. Louis and it had because St. Louis used to be like the epicenter of bowling.
Okay.
And
Didn't
so
know this.
He went down.
How do you know so much about bowling?
Because my father-in-law almost went pro.
This is a fucking untapped vein that I did not know existed.
Yeah, it's super interesting. Because again, it's like everybody's bowled. And like you bowl and like you get a strike, you're like, oh, that's awesome. He's like, oh yeah, like I would get like 9 of those a game. If I didn't get 9, I was mad about it. But yeah, he went down to St. Louis. He played against some professional guys and beat them. He always talks about they would go to Chicago and bowl, Vegas.
Yeah.
And he talked about that because back then the payout from the tournament was okay, but it was all the side games that they would do.
Oh, okay, like bet for money and whatnot?
Kind of, yeah. Like you do like this card thing or like whoever had like the most on a certain frame. And so he would say from all of that, he like never had to pay for bowling for like his last 3 or 4 years doing it.
Wow.
But it was him and my mother-in-law, and they basically just figured out that, they weren't going to have kids or anything. So they're like, okay, well, why don't we'll quit the jobs that you were doing. You can become professional. His aunt was going to sponsor him and everything. So you have to have a sponsor, and he was going to try and be a professional bowler.
Wow.
But then Tiffany came along and he's like, well, I'll probably not do that then. And so he gave up his dream. Yeah.
So now, do you harass her about that? Be like, you killed your father's dream of being a professional bowler.
Like, I was going to get him a bowling pin and write your name on it, but I figured that would just be, a dick move. But it is kind of sad because he does I think maybe 6 or 7 years after Tiff came along, he his wrist and stuff started hurting, so he couldn't do it as much.
Oh, that sucks.
And even now he says it kind of depresses him to go to the bowling alley.
No, that's sad.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of how I feel like when I go to a ball field or something where it's like, oh man. But I can still throw and stuff. I just can't play the game. Yeah. But I was,
and you can't have a walk-off home run that you put on Wikipedia that gets taken out.
I know, right?
Sons of bitches.
But I was not even remotely close to being a professional. Because he tells me this.
Was Tiffany the one that removed it from Wikipedia?
Probably.
She's like, I'm killing all the man's dreams of my life.
Yeah. It's funny because when he tells those stories and he starts getting sad and depressed, I'm like, well, yeah, I feel the same way about baseball. He's like, oh, yeah? Did you almost go to the majors?
Close.
I could have. I was on the college team for a week. Really, a week? Well, 3 days. What made you quit? They ran a lot.
So if he can't be a bowler, I've got something else he can do. He can go back to school.
Oh yeah,
and he can get a degree in. This is a 2-unit course at the revered University of California, Berkeley.
Wow, that's a good school,
right?
Well, so Berkeley, I don't know if that school is, but Berkeley's got a good school. I've heard.
No, it is. It's UCB.
Oh, okay.
So it's a 2-unit course, and you can. It's a program based on The Simpsons.
The Simpsons.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
2 units? I don't even think you get through the first 5 years of episodes in that.
No, probably not. Although just a 2-unit course at the revered University of California at Berkeley, the fact that there even is a program based on the eternal Simpsons and the philosophy behind it is a testament to the show's ramifications over several generations. So it's not just it's not just the show, it's the philosophies that the show teaches.
Well, I mean, it brings up a good question. At what point do you think we're going to be looking at these things and treating them like Shakespeare type stuff, where you break them down, you think about the history, the times that it was done in.
I mean, we already talk about how, apparently Matt Groening is a time traveler.
Yeah, they did. Well, I mean, but honestly, like it's kind of like the Nostradamus thing. We're like,
I've
oh
seen
my
some
God,
fairly compelling evidence. I don't know, man.
Nostradamus predicted all this stuff. It's like, I mean, he kind of said a lot of shit. So, I mean, if you're doing a TV series for like 50 years, like I got to make some wacky stuff happen. Some wacky stuff will happen.
Let's see. I'm kind of scrolling through this list now. This one makes no sense to me at all, and I think it's just because I'm not British. Okay. This is at the University of Staffordshire in England, in the UK. One of the modules is in David Beckham studies.
Oh God. You know what?
But he isn't even in England anymore, isn't he? Doesn't he play for the LA Galaxy or
That's
whatever?
That's the last team he played for. They paid him a shit ton of money, too.
They paid him a fuck ton of money.
And he brought
you know what I bet this is? This is basically this is an entire course on how this guy gets to fuck Posh Spice every night.
You look at him with his ripped abs and you get to see that Spice girl. She was sexy Spice, wasn't she? Or Hot Spice?
No, she was Posh.
Oh. Was there like a Hot Spice?
There was Sexy Spice.
There was Kanye.
There was scary, sporty,
baby Spice.
Sexy, baby, and Posh.
Posh was the redhead, though, right?
No, Sexy was the redhead.
Who's she? Is she somebody famous now, or is she?
What's her name? Jerry Hallowell.
Oh, that sounds right.
I know her first name's Jerry, and I can't totally remember the last name. So it was Mel B. Mel B was scary, and then Mel C was sporty. And then
I kind of like Sporty Spice.
Emma something was baby. Victoria Beckham now was Posh.
The thing with Beckham, though, he reminds me of the lead singer.
I have three sisters that were fucking in love with Spice Girls, Shawn. I can wax on some Spice Girls.
It was a little bit before my sister, so like it was kind of big, so she was kind of like into it a little bit. But I mean, they only lasted like 2 years, so.
Well, no, what's her name's on fucking that Britain's Got Talent or whatever, right?
No, I mean they still have jobs, but I mean like their music career. It's like
Victoria Beckham doesn't need a fucking job.
Well, no,
because David Beckham's pulling down $80 gajillion for kicking a ball.
He's freaking ripped too, and got tattoos all over.
Yeah, it's basically you go into class and they just pull down a thing and be like, "This man has sex with this woman. How do we get there? Thoughts? I'll expect a 5,000 word essay by next week."
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, and I'm not a soccer fan either, so I never really got the David Beckham thing, but I think because in Great Britain, like soccer's the only sport they have, whereas here we have like 4 major sports.
Well, I mean, to be fair, like soccer's big almost everywhere but here.
Yeah, but the equivalent of I would say like the closest would be football here, our football.
Yeah.
But even then, I feel like having 4 major sports kind of pulls some of the celebrity away from all the other ones. Like, think of like the only sport if we had in America was American style football. Like Tom Brady would be bigger than what he is, right?
Agreed.
Name anybody like Cam Newton.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So like other countries, they have soccer and that's kind of it.
Yeah. So it's like, well, David Beckham's like our god, but like here it's like, Michael Jordan would probably be the closest, but even after the fact when he like retired and got away for about 15, 20 years, I think people still think it's
Shawn,
cool.
Michael Jordan for a time had a Hitler mustache and people were fine with it.
Yeah,
he's the only human being that I've ever seen in existence. And that's past, present, and probably future that I have seen with that facial hair and not at all. Everybody's like, yeah, that's fine.
Well, that was a different time,
Nobody even questions it.
That was the early 80s. Because
it's like, well, it's fucking Michael Jordan. Like, it's okay. He's the only person I've ever seen my entire life. Shawn, I'm 38 years old. I have never seen another human being with a Hitler mustache. There was Michael Jordan and Hitler.
Yeah.
And that was it. That's it.
Everybody else before that too, you have to be careful. Like if you show pictures of family members from
like Charlie
1820,
Chaplin.
Yeah, he's like, no. This was like pre-Hitler. This wasn't post-Hitler.
Yeah, but you show him a picture of Michael Jordan with a fucking Hitler mustache, and nobody questions it. Nobody says a fucking thing about it.
Yeah, they kind of.
You know why? Because he's Michael Jordan.
Yeah. Did you watch that documentary that he was in?
I haven't, but I really, really want to.
Because like I think we've talked about it a little bit, but at that time in the early 90s, I was like 10, 12. So I don't remember early Michael Jordan. I remember like 97, 98 Michael Jordan.
Oh, like when he was like
basically God on earth, essentially.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's just really interesting that like I don't know if we'll have that form of celebrity again.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I mean,
because
we have people who like will like stay out, like wait for people to leave hotels, but that was like a whole different level.
Yeah.
It's weird time. I think it's better now, maybe because with all the social networking, at least you kind of feel like.
I mean, I guess the only thing you compare it to is like Gretzky, because you have Michael Jordan, but then you had Gretzky.
Yeah, I don't know if it was the same level though.
Maybe not here.
Yeah, okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, in Canada they probably like shoot their maple syrup all over the place when he shows up.
Yeah. I bet in Canada there's a fucking Wayne Gretzky studies degree.
Probably. I think since there's been some. Have you seen Wayne Gretzky's daughter though?
I haven't.
She's very attractive. I think she's like in her mid-20s now.
Do you think Gretzky could pull off a Hitler mustache and everybody be fine with it?
Not now. Back then, maybe, but not now.
Yeah.
I think he's on thin ice.
Did you do that
pun
on
intended.
purpose?
Yes, pun intended. But he's kind of, I think like his wife, maybe when he was with the Phoenix Coyotes coaching him, like there's a bunch of weird stuff going on.
Oh.
And his daughter was like, fuck you, dad. Like,
oh shit.
Going on Instagram, not really like saying it out loud, but saying it with like the lack of clothing she was wearing. And
wow.
His dad was like, put some clothes on. I'm Gretzky.
Yeah. And then all of Canada was like, you listen to your fucking father. And even if you don't listen to your father, you listen to Wayne fucking Gretzky, goddammit.
He's a goddamn
listen
saint.
to Gretzky, give your balls a tug.
Yeah. And everybody in America's like, yeah,
fuck you, Shorzy.
I mean, he didn't play football, so.
This is, I mean, I've got other ones, but I'll give you this last one. Just because like I just, again, I think this is a dying art. Well, not necessarily a dying art, but because I'll tell you where you can apply this. You could get a degree in puppetry.
Huh. Hey, you know what? It might be making a comeback.
I'm saying, like, I go get a degree in puppetry, and this time next week, I'm working with the Muppets, Shawn.
Yeah. Well, and there's a lot more.
I'm on fucking Sesame Street.
I would think that would be kind of, like the movies and stuff when they have puppets in there.
Okay, look. Oh, okay. Like, okay. Perfect example. Baby Yoda, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. A great point. Yeah.
There's a puppet. At what point do you think we'll ever get to a point where we stop using puppets in that scenario?
Because
I'll tell you what, like, I think that if they would have done that Baby Yoda in CG, there's no way it would have had the effect that it had.
It'd probably look okay now, but like that's one of the things 10 years from now, you'd be like, oh, it's totally CGI. Because I don't know how it works, Richard, but like if you ever sit and like watch like Madden from the beginning to now, it just like when you're in 2000, you're like, oh my God, this looks so real. But then when you look at it now compared to then, you're like, this looks fucking shitty. CGI is kind of the same way. Like it always just seems to get better, and the older stuff looks like crap. Practical stuff always holds up.
Practical stuff does always hold up. I will definitely agree with you there.
But I was going to say, I was like, I don't know if it'll ever get to a point where they'll just CGI it 100%. Maybe not just because I think it helps the actors. But you look at that freaking Disney hub thing they've built for like shooting stuff, all those TVs that make it look like fucking wherever you're at. You start being able to do stuff like that. The next step would be like, Well, shit.
And you throw a puppet in front of it.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, you look at like the de-aging stuff they have. I mean, they're bringing people back to life, Richard. So
That's true.
yeah, I don't know if puppets will be around much longer.
That's true.
Although, I mean, I'm sure if you were one of the only ones that are doing it
For it, I would. You tell me I can go and get a degree in something, and then like 2 weeks later, I have my hand up Kermit's ass.
Yeah,
100%. I am down.
But that's a dying thing. So I mean, I'm sure if you do that, and you could probably market yourself on YouTube.
Oh, there's gonna be a Muppet Show out. Yeah, there's gonna be another Muppet Show on fucking Disney Plus.
I never really liked the Muppets though.
Oh, we're done here. End the show. Do it. Now we're finished.
All right. Well, I'm gonna have to check out some of these degrees for sure. I think the bowling one's probably caught my eye the most.
It sounds like I didn't realize that that was a thing. Like I said, this was a vein that I didn't realize.
Oh, but I mean, did you ever spend time at a bowling alley when you were little?
No, not really when I was little. I mean, I would go, and then we like you said, like there was a bowling alley close to like right next to my school. And so we would go and do that occasionally.
Yeah, but you had bowling, you had the pool tables, you had the arcade, the little mini arcade. You had the freaking like food pantry place.
Oh, I go to the arcade. Sure.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like the whole atmosphere. It smelled like smoke. Like you left.
The bowling alley in town, actually the same bowling alley I'm thinking of, they actually have they actually have like a VR setup in their arcade now. The VR setup is connected to Steam.
Oh, that's cool.
And so you can actually like get games off of Steam and fucking you know like if others I doesn't sound half bad.
Yeah, I take my kid there. I'm like, hey, what are you playing, son? I'm bowling.
Yeah,
virtually.
And you're like, what was? God damn it.
Yeah, he's getting a pop culture degree. Well, Richard, as we're tidying up this studies of different degrees, what is some Richard's closing thoughts?
Life is a journey, and you should always be learning something.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah. Always be learning.
Always
there you go.
Be learning. ABL, as we say at the LOB.
Sure.
All right. Well, let me do a little bit of housekeeping before we jump into it. As this comes out, we're getting kind of towards the end of July, and the Podcast Awards is closing out. So if you get a chance, go to podcastawards.com and go and sign up and nominate us for the comedy section. And then also, if you get some time, go ahead and throw a Strange Indeed in there as well for TV and film.
And then go and find all your friends and make them do it.
Yes. Or find one of those ethical hackers and be like, hey, hack this.
Yeah. And then make him do it.
Yeah. Because Richard and I, we need a trophy. We need a win.
Exactly.
All right. Well,
I can put it next to my David Beckham studies degree.
Well, let me do the housekeeping proper. So visit our website, we're at languageofbros.com. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at languageofbro. Email us at bros@languageofbros.com. You can like us on Facebook, and there's a couple ways to help support the show. You can spread the bromance by liking, retweeting, or sharing the show on Reddit or any of the other social platforms that are out there. And if you want to show the bromance on your chest, go to our TeePublic store and pick up some LB merchandise.
Love it.
But if you want to take that big step, you can also help us by joining our Patreon accounts, patreon.com/languageofbromance. We pay for the show all out of pocket, so this helps keep everything free. And we also like to thank each one of our patrons. That's Wendy, Aaron, and Shane.
You all have a degree in LOB studies.
They do. They're doctors of LOB studies.
Yeah, put that on a business card.
Yeah. Like, what's that? What's lob? Like, oh... All right. Was there anything else before I close her out?
David Beckham studies.
All right. Well, that's all the bromance we have for this show. I'm Shawn.
And I'm Richard. And
remember, don't be a why.
Be a why not. Why not? Get all these degrees. Be a ninja.
School's out for summer.
Be a ninja who knows way too much about The Simpsons.
School's out for